Good evening. A significant internal dispute is reportedly growing within the United States government regarding the ongoing conflict with Iran. Sources indicate that Vice President J.D. Vance is increasingly expressing doubts about the Pentagon's official narrative, raising questions about the true state of United States weapons stockpiles. Reports suggest that Vice President Vance has privately challenged whether the Department of Defense is sugarcoating the situation and underestimating the depletion of critical United States military assets. These concerns have also reportedly been conveyed to President Donald Trump. The Pentagon, which under President Trump has been referred to as the War Department, has publicly refuted these allegations. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Chief of Staff Dan Caine have both asserted that United States arsenals remain well stocked and that the damage inflicted upon Iran is substantial. A spokesperson for the Department of Defense stated that they provide President Trump with a complete, unfiltered picture. The White House echoed this, saying that critical inquiries are a normal part of the decision-making process. However, a more nuanced picture is emerging internally. Advisors are reportedly warning that the consumption of central weapon systems, including interceptor missiles and cruise missiles, could jeopardize the United States' operational capabilities in other potential conflicts. Estimates suggest that more than half of certain ammunition stockpiles may already have been expended. The New York Times reported last Thursday that since the start of United States attacks on Iran in late February, approximately 1,100 long-range stealth cruise missiles, over 1,000 Tomahawk cruise missiles, more than 1,200 Patriot air defense missiles, and over 1,000 ground-based precision strike and ATACMS missiles have been fired. For stealth cruise missiles, this reported quantity represents nearly the entire arsenal. For Tomahawk missiles, the number corresponds to roughly 10 times the annual production. Furthermore, each Patriot missile alone costs more than $4 million United States dollars. These figures were reportedly based on internal Pentagon estimates and information from members of Congress. Intelligence assessments also appear to contradict the Pentagon's optimistic portrayal. According to these assessments, Iran still possesses significant portions of its air force and missile capabilities. Strategically important assets, particularly in the Persian Gulf, are reported to be intact. An insider described these ongoing threats as crucial for the further progression of the conflict. Vice President Vance, according to close associates, is reportedly making efforts to prevent the conflict from escalating to a personal level. Publicly, he has expressed support for Secretary Hegseth, stating that he is doing a great job. Nevertheless, some observers view the Pentagon's positive portrayals as politically motivated, potentially aimed at bolstering President Trump's optimistic outlook on the war. The conflict also involves political interests. Vice President Vance was reportedly skeptical of military intervention even before the war began, warning of long-term consequences. Simultaneously, he is rumored to harbor ambitions for a presidential candidacy in 2028. Defense Secretary Hegseth is also said to have political aspirations which could further intensify existing tensions. Meanwhile, the war itself is developing less definitively than initially portrayed. Despite some military successes, fighting continues and negotiations have stalled. Recently, the situation in the Persian Gulf escalated again when Iranian forces seized merchant vessels. Observers see this as a clear indication that Tehran's military capabilities remain intact. What's your take on US Vice President Challenges Pentagon on Iran war costs? Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle? This video was generated using artificial intelligence.